Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about an interesting bug I found today, because that video I posted earlier today about Venom the Duck shooting 100k special attack as a 2-star was actually intended to be a Corvus Glaive video, because Corvus Glaive has a way to cheese armor aggression nodes as well. And that is due to his ability to inflict armor break on well-timed blocks. So let's read out the description as it states. Inflicts an armor break, reducing the opponent's armor rating by 326.47 for 4 seconds. Additional armor breaks are inflicted for each active armor up effect on the opponent. So it doesn't have to be a buff, so it is an armor up effect, which is perfect because aggression armor is passive armor ups. And Corvus basically is going to armor break a lot. He's going to inflict a lot of armor breaks on anybody with aggression armor node if we let them stack up some armor buffs. So that is exactly what we are going to do in this video. We're going to head to Rocket Raccoon in Uncollected 2.2 with the Diablo boss for that quest. And we're going to fight Rocket Raccoon because he has aggression armor node. It's easy to access him. And we're going to be able to check what kind of damage numbers we are able to put out. Because in theory, we should be able to get Corvus some insane damage output with all those massive stacks of armor breaks. So let's see. So initial hit with 1 armor break is 842. 2 armor breaks, 879. Everything seems to be working fine here. But then we're going to kind of dance about, let him build up some armor ups, and we're going to check how many armor breaks we can place on this Rocket Raccoon and how our damage is going to look like. Because currently he's at like 6 armor buffs, that's fine. Let's get a bit more in there. And basically the more armor ups he can get, the more armor breaks we can inflict, and we can also manage to get in like 2 parries. If my parry mastery wouldn't be maxed, I would be able to parry him like 3 times. But so 13 armor breaks with 12 armor ups. 842. That was the initial damage. 27 armor breaks, 842. 28 armor breaks, 842. So basically, as long as Rocket Raccoon has any armor buffs active, we reversed down to our initial damage output. So here we can basically observe that as long as opponent does not have any armor ups on them, our armor breaks are working fine. When we parry, our damage increases for each armor up. We did from 842 to 870 or something. Now, as long as opponent has at least 1 passive armor up active on them, our damage gets reverted back to kind of like the minimum, the bare minimum, and it does not change despite the number of armor buffs Rocket Raccoon has. It does not change despite the number of armor breaks we inflict. We had 20, we'll have 40 armor breaks. It's not the issue here whatsoever, but the damage remains constant and it's not increasing. It's just the initial damage we were able to do from beginning of the fight without him having any armor ups and armor breaks on him, or the one that we initially got from our parry. Also notice how these armor up effects do not get removed when we place an armor break debuff on Rocket Raccoon, and that's very weird because a while ago it did remove all of them immediately. I remember using it in Maze to deal with Iron Man Infinity War. I just let him build up a bunch of armor ups and parried him once, all of them were gone, and I could hit insanely hard. Here, now, we can see that all of these armor ups do remain and nothing kind of changes. They only get removed when we actually strike Rocket Raccoon. So what I do think is that Kabammed has changed interactions of armor breaks in general, and definitely Corvus's armor break with passive armor up effects, because they're not classed as debuffs. So I do also believe that essentially all of these armor break effects that we see visually for some reason kind of get stuck and deal absolutely no effect, because as we saw, our damage was constant. It was not changing. Now we're going to check out, I'm going to be doing exactly kind of like the damage same baseline as when I am without glaive charges, because I was hitting him without glaive charges and I was dealing same amount of damage regardless of the number of armor breaks on him. So yeah, it's definitely something very fishy going on there. And once again, we can see like a very bright example of once Kabammed starts messing with any game mechanic, it immediately causes a landslide of unintended interactions. Now, whether they actually get recognized as buffs or there will be some character descriptions updated, that remains to be seen. I'm also gonna have a short clip of 4-star Glaive doing exactly the same fight just to demonstrate that the strength of armor break does not change anything in this interaction. We're still gonna remain kind of like on our base damage output. It will not change depending on how many armor breaks we can place on this Rocket Raccoon. So let me know what you guys think. Is this a bug? Well, duh, obviously it is. But what Kabammed will do about it? Will they change it? Will they ignore it? Will they start updating some character descriptions? Because my guess is that Kabammed has clearly starting to mess about with armor ups, armor breaks, armor shatter, passive armor up effects, all that kind of stuff. And it does not seem that they have much idea of what they are doing. Or at the very least any kind of consequences it causes to different character interactions, because come on, armor break and armor up are like two of the oldest buffs and debuffs respectively in the game, but it still seems to be all over the place. Anyway, that's me done for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the sub button, don't forget to comment and